start now, prepping for Thanksgiving and the holidays. You know, I went to the store and picked up just a few things that I knew for sure I was going to need for the holidays. And I'm going to show you what they are and why I'm picking them up. I have already set the menu for both Thanksgiving and for Christmas. Now, typically for Christmas is pretty standard because I go to my daughter's house. I have certain things that I always take. They're always requested. So I know the things that I'm going to need for those items. But you know, when you're putting together your Thanksgiving dinner, you have all the little ingredients that need to be a part of what you're doing. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I'm also going to refer you to the description box because I'm going to talk about some of the videos that I have previously recorded that may have some information that's going to be necessary for you to refer back to and to get some ideas from. So let's get into what we have right here, and we're going to get ready for Thanksgiving. Now, just a reminder to you, it is never, never too early to be prepared. Prepare your kitchen now because you know we have things that are going on, things that we can see, and things that are unseen. You're probably wondering, why am I talking about Thanksgiving now? Well, it's all about the stockpiles of food. Do we have them? No. The grocery is looking just a tad bit bare in certain parts of the store, and particularly in foods. You know, you can go in at a certain time and it seems like things are fairly stocked, but when you start to look at the shelves, notice how deeply stocked they are. So for instance, if you're in the canned goods section, they have the canned goods spread in such a way so it looks like there's plenty of canned goods. But when you start to get specific about what it is that you want, and if you want a particular brand of canned good or food, that's where the problem is. Because some of those things are on the shelf, but some aren't. So let's take a look at what I know already I need for Thanksgiving. And I have a separate Thanksgiving shopping list. So as I find those things, I'm just going to check them off. I know I have that. Now, of course, it's too early to even think about the bird. But there are going to be some things that are in the meat section that you may want. For instance, you may want some smoked turkey to be able to use in your greens or in your green beans. And, you know, I love that. Now, I have to admit, I didn't pull it out of the freezer. I left that in the freezer. But let me get a couple of other freezer foods so that I can bring those out. You know, we always prepare a broccoli casserole. And I have 2 large bags of broccoli cuts that I'm going to need to use for a large broccoli casserole in order to serve the number of people that we need. Now, the good thing is that for both of the holidays, we typically have multiple people cooking. So there's going to be not just the broccoli casserole. Oh, honey, there's going to be green beans that someone's going to prepare. We have another person who does the greens. And so we typically have at least 3 green vegetables. And so broccoli casserole is one of those things. So I have the broccoli. I'm also thinking about not just the dinner, but I'm also thinking about dessert, the appetizer, if you plan an appetizer for that day. And if you have company, you're going to need breakfast. Now, week I put together a video that deals with an apple pumpkin muffin. Let me tell you, they are delicious. But you know what the problem was? All of the groceries do not have canned pumpkin. So when I found pumpkin, I picked up several cans of pumpkin. I had to get my pumpkin from Target rather than my Kroger's. Not even Wegman had pumpkin when I was at the store this weekend. So my canned pumpkin is ready because I'm going to need to make another batch of my apple pumpkin muffins. So I have pumpkins. Now I don't know about you. You know, if I'm just cooking a regular meal, I usually prepare, if I need a cream of mushroom or a cream of chicken, I usually do it the long way. But for Thanksgiving and the holidays, it's not going to happen. This girl is going to use the canned stuff. So I have multiple cans of cream of mushroom that I know I'm going to need, and I'm going to need that cream of mushroom for my broccoli casserole. I also have some cream of chicken that sometimes I will add just a touch of cream of chicken in two places. A little bit in the dressing, the liquids that go into the dressing, and I also add just a smidget of this into my gravy, and it just gives it a nice texture and adds a little extra to the flavor. So, cream of chicken, got that. When I'm thinking desserts, first of all, I need sweetened condensed milk. So if I make a refrigerator pie, then I know I can use that. And I love a refrigerator cherry pie. And it's like a cheesecake, but it's not quite as involved as a cheesecake. So this is a great opportunity to be able to use the evaporated milk. I also use one of these cans of milk for a stovetop candy that I do. And so here's our evaporated milk. The sweetened condensed milk. Now, I have evaporated milk. And I have several cans because I try to pick up one of these every time I go to the grocery. I like to use this for my corn pudding. I use evaporated milk also for my macaroni and cheese. And not that I have to use the evaporated, but it's nice to have this on the shelf because your corn pudding is going to be very creamy and it's going to give it a nice texture, and your macaroni and cheese is going to be a da bomb. So evaporated milk is another item. Now, the night before, the couple of days before, I know we have guests coming in, and typically what I like to do is to prepare a huge pot or even do it in a casserole form of spaghetti. And so I picked up 3 28-ounce cans of whole tomatoes because that's my starting point for my sauce. I prepare the sauce in advance, prepare the hamburger and the ground beef in advance so that I can add it all, put it into the pot, add the spaghetti, and voila, we've got spaghetti for that night. Have a salad ready to go and some store-bought bread, dinner served. Got a green vegetable and you got a main dish. Now, you'll notice that I have 4 boxes of Jiffy muffin mix. And the reason for that is, now, ladies and gentlemen, I know how to make cornbread, but when you have a huge menu to prepare, then you're not always going to want to do it from scratch. And so I have Jiffy cornbread mix because I typically prepare the cornbread and I do it a day in advance, give it time to cool. Sometimes I even leave it out overnight so it can dry out just a little bit. and I put that into my dressing along with the celery, the onions. And I do believe I have a video. And if I do, I'm going to link that down below. Now, I already know I've got the spaghetti recipe already prepared. And I will link that down in the description box. The description box today is going to be full of goodies that you're going to want to have. Now, macaroni and cheese in the description box. It's going to be right there, so you can just hit and be ready to prepare. Now, this is magic. This is Wondra. Wondra is a quick mixing flour. You know, some people have a little issue with their turkey gravy, and they end up having to do a lot of blending and doing a lot of things to their gravy. Wondra does not clump, and I love it. You can sprinkle in, do a little stir until you get that gravy, the texture that you want. Wondra is your best option. Get some of this, keep it on your shelf for those days when you want to prepare gravy and you want it to come out absolutely perfect. And certainly for Thanksgiving, we want our gravy to be perfect. Now, I also have here, I picked up some deep dish pie shells, and the sweetened condensed milk, the deep dish pie shells, and I already have some cherries in the freezer so that I can make the cherry somewhat of a cheesecake pie. It's a quick cherry cheesecake pie. I already know I'm going to need extra brown sugar. So I've picked up an extra bag, and probably at my next grocery shop, I'll pick up one more. And that's just to make sure that my container for brown sugar stays full, because we're going to be baking. We're going to need this for the pumpkin muffins. We're going to need it for the pecan pie cake that I have planned to do. And yes, I will video that and give you the recipe. But we're going to be putting those items together. So this is going to be ready to go in the pantry, stocking now. We don't want to wait until the last minute. One more thing that I want you to get a look at. This is a huge bag. This is a huge bag of blueberries. And what I like to do with the blueberries, this is going to be for two purposes. I'm going to make blueberry muffins along with as a side for one of the mornings for breakfast. And I'm also going to take a portion of these blueberries. I'm going to put them on the stove, add some sugar, and I'm going to make a blueberry syrup to go over some pancakes. How does that sound? Is your mouth watering yet? It should be. So blueberry syrup, blueberry pancakes, or blueberry muffins. We can do either. We have a huge bag of blueberries that's going to go back into the freezer because I put it in and I need to put it back because I don't want them to thaw. But these are things we need to have already a part of our pantry. We're prepping that pantry for the holidays, and we're stocking up those things that we need because we're not going to wait until the week of Thanksgiving to do our shopping. We're going to have it already done. We're going to take care of all of that, and all we'll need to focus on is the cooking. Let's start today getting our kitchen ready for the holidays. And I hope you're going to be with me each week so that you will know what I'm doing, and it will remind you to do some of those things right there in your kitchen. So let's stay together, Let's prepare together, and let's make sure that our families are certainly supported right here in the kitchen with great meals, lots of love and encouragement. Not only will we encourage each other, we're going to do it around the table, and we're going to do it one meal at a time.